Used to be lost myself. Another soul with diamond inside. Now I'm ready, so nice to meet you.
Ciao a tutti, questa è la terza intervista per la rubrica Nice to Meet You. Diversamente dai video fatti con Thomas Briandi e Coin Murphy's, l'introduzione non è stata fatta sul posto e quindi la faccio da casa. Il protagonista di questa intervista è un pilota finlandese che prende parte alle tappe europee del Mondiale Supersport. Il Mondiale Supersport, come sapete, è di livello molto alto quest'anno e non è facile difendersi in una griglia così competitiva, soprattutto se si guida una moto che non è più giovanissima e che non è proprio la più competitiva del lotto. Il pilota in questione guida una Suzuki, è l'unico pilota Suzuki di tutta la griglia e riesce comunque a fare degli ottimi risultati. Per esempio a Brno è arrivato nono e ha vinto nella categoria dell'Europeo. Sto parlando del finlandese Eemeli Lahti e adesso andiamo a vedere l'intervista che io ho fatto dopo le prove libere del venerdì nel round di Misano, 2 giorni prima di uno sfortunato incidente che ha avuto nel giro di schieramento prima della gara della Supersport. Fortunatamente non si è fatto male in maniera troppo seria e l'unica cosa che si può fare è augurargli una buona guarigione. Intanto godetevi l'intervista. Hi Eemeli.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm okay. A little bit hot still, but night is coming, so it's cooling down a bit, so I'm happy.
Yeah, it's better, I think. 1 month ago we were at Brno for World Supersport and you scored an amazing result. You scored 9th place with Suzuki and you're the only Suzuki racing World Supersport. Do you expect to be so fast there on the track?
I hope so, and I believe that our pace is enough for top 10s, but we have had our struggles during the season and some bad weekends. So this was maybe like more close to what we are capable of, so I think that was quite realistic picture of my pace.
What do you think of your season so far?
I think I've done quite good work, and we have had like big issues with the bike. Of course my mechanics have done like really good work and lots of long nights thinking about the problems, but now it seems that we are getting like over the problems, so hopefully it will be better after the problems.
So you're the only Suzuki rider in World Supersport and they say that Suzuki is not the one of the most competitive bikes in the championship, but you show that you can be in the front, at least in top 10.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
I think you can achieve even better results when you just put time and effort to something, and that's what we have been doing. And scoring top 10 with Suzuki is, I don't think it's like a miracle, but of course it's a great thing to happen. But I think there is still some potential left on the bike. We just need to get it out of the bike and the rider, so we can still improve.
I saw that you come from British Championship, British Supersport. What do you think of the level of BSS?
It's not easy to compare to some other series, but I really liked it there. I love the people, I love the crowd, the paddock. There's always so many spectators and the fans are really close to the riders, and that's what I enjoyed a lot. And also the tracks are fun to ride, definitely not easy to learn or to ride, but really good series overall. And the fast guys are going really fast there, so it's really competitive and fun place to ride.
You talked about the crowd. Okay, we saw that in the British Championship there are so many people always on the grass, on the grandstands to watch British Superbike. By contrast, World Superbike Championship is not that successful. There are not so many people watching the races.
The most of the tracks we ride now here in World Superbike, it's also the same tracks as in MotoGP, and I think people will go to rather to watch MotoGP than World Superbike. But I think now it's been better this season than before. So I think the trend is going up. At least I hope so. World Superbike's marketing has been much better now than like a few years ago, and the media team, they have done better job than last few years. So I think it's because of that.
I thought about a few years ago, okay, now it's better than a few years ago, because a few years ago you were already in this paddock. You raced in European Supersport 600 with Kali Racing.
Years 2014 and 15, and great memories. Obviously, I had Niki as my teammate, and
Niki Tuuli.
yeah, Niki Tuuli, full Finnish team, and it was fun and also quite, how can I say it, bit stressful, I guess. I was so young boy that time, and
Now you are?
I'm now 21.
You're 21 and you were 17, 18.
Yeah, 17, 18.
In the
So,
period.
yeah, my first experience is riding outside Finland, so, and straight to this like big paddock. So I was quite nervous and excited at the same time, but obviously I did quite good results. We definitely should have tested a bit more that time, but it's already history and past, so you cannot change it now. But I don't have anything bad to say about those times. Really good racing, and as a class, the stock 600 was one of the best I've ever ridden. So.
Where did you race before getting to European Superstock 600? And then where before coming to European Supersport?
Obviously, I started racing in Finland and around Scandinavian area, like in Sweden and Finland. I started with Honda NSF 100s, and after that I moved up to 125 Finnish Championship and one IDM race in Germany. I wasn't that good of a rider back then with 125. Then I changed to 600s when I was really young. I was only 14 at the time when I switched up to 600s, and then I 1 year in Finnish Championship, and then I moved to stock 600s in 2013. But in first race I did in Assen, I had a big accident, and that was the only race I did in 2013.
Yeah, I remember. Second last corner before the final chicane.
Yeah.
You had a huge crash during qualifying.
Yeah. Oh no, I think it was the race. It was the race.
Ah, the race.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I just big high sider.
I watched it on TV.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, and I broke my
My God.
broke my leg there, and it was, that season was there basically. I did one race after it too, but my leg was still quite sore, and it wasn't anything to do with racing. So
But then in the years after it went better.
yeah.
And what about 2016 and 2017? Did you spend both years in British Championship?
In 2016 I did one BSB race and few IDM races, and then I did my debut in World Supersport with this German team in Lausitzring. But basically the year was quite difficult. I had been in the army, Finnish Defense Forces for half a year, and I didn't got time to train at all, so it was quite difficult year. Then last year, 2017, I did BSB 6-7 BSB races. I think that was it.
What's the best memory you have of your racing career? What's the
I
best
think-
thing that happened?
I think last year's win in Assen in BSB or last race in Brno, quite close to each other.
What do you prefer of the two?
I don't know. Maybe Brno, because it was like first race of the season where I had competitive bike, and we have had so stressful and bad season. Then we had good result. It always feels really good. So
Like a rebirth.
yeah.
I felt like you were reborn after a very difficult
Yeah.
period. Yeah. And it's already very good and positive, especially for a young rider like you.
Yeah.
Have you already started thinking of 2019?
Of course, I will start thinking about it. I want to do World Supersport, but we'll see. Contacting some teams and see what they are up to, and we'll see. Of course, I want to do as many races per year as I can. I would like to race every single weekend of the year, but yeah. So obviously, it's much better to ride the full season than only the European runs.
Is there a track in the calendar of outside Europe that you would really like to ride on?
Yeah, Phillip Island as a track looks like magnificent, and then also Qatar, the night race, is something I'd love to experience.
Oh, you never raced that night.
No,
Isn't it possible in Finland?
I think in Finland the summer is so bright at night also, so you could still use like black visor.
Okay, so thank you very much, Emily, for this interview. I wish you good luck for everything. Full gas.
Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
I used to be lost, used